In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Chroma Key on Movie Studio 18 in our way to review a couple of hidden layers that is accompanied with how you can get a particular image that is having a specific screen like this to remove that color and also reveal what is behind it, like this particular symbol that we have over here. And now for we to do that, we're going to look at a couple of things to be aware of before we actually dive into this. So let's set up the following. We're going to introduce this particular image right here, and we're going to put it into this particular timeline, and by so doing we'll be able to manipulate what are the things that we need to be aware of when it comes to the function Chroma Key. And first, in order for we to attain our Chroma Key, all we have to do is go to effects, and once we go to effects, we can actually scroll all the way to the video effects, and once you click on Chroma Key, we have this displayed right on the right side of your screen. Now, a couple of honorable mentions to be aware of is the following. We have 3 roles that have different functions. The first role is assigned for mode, depending on what style you want to animate here is up to you in terms of either stamp, or if you click on color, it allows you to select a specific area, and we're going to look at that very soon, or in terms of mix. And by mix, we can actually have a blend of colors that we want to eliminate. Now, as you click from one to another, we notice that the color to be hidden actually changes in terms of how it shows the threshold to fade range and anti-spill. This is noticed only for color, and the rest they don't actually have these features right here. And the final particular role is showing the video level in terms of how you want this particular effect to be reviewed right here. And what we see is that, let's say for example we start with stamp and we want to see the video level. What you notice is around it we see how pixelated it is by unclicking on use alpha channel in source material. And once you click on this, we see that not only is it pixelated, but we have a specific area. And on the other hand, if we want to remove this particular black background around our specific image, all we have to do is click on it and we'll be able to have this fully reviewed for the specific image that we want. And in addition to that, when you move your video level, the further you go, the more the specific image disappear, and the more you move to the right, the more the image is of a greater quality, and that is something to keep in mind. Now, for color to be hidden when it comes to stamp, all we just do is, for this specific image that has its timeline highlighted, what we see is that to click on the image color, we pick, for example, green to be hidden. Once you click on green, you're going to see this particular green highlights disappear, as we see right over here. Now, once you notice that, you see that there is all these levels that needs to be adjusted, and the more you adjust in terms of moving everything, the more you see that your color reappears, and the further you move away, we see that it completely disappears based on that specific threshold. And if you see for field range, and finally for your anti-spill. So that is something to keep in mind when it comes to color. If you want to see this properly, we can go to blue and we can see the action take place for blue, and we see that everything here kind of like is gray, and then that is for this particular setup. And once we want all the blue to disappear, we change the threshold, the field range, and finally the anti-spill, so that the blue completely disappears. So that is one thing stamp actually provides here. Another thing to keep in mind also is in terms of color. And once we click on color, what happens is that we are going to be selecting a specific range. If this particular color to be hidden is not showing the color that you desire to be hidden, and so what we do is we click on OK, and we can now begin with the next step. And the next step here is, you notice that your mouse cursor has this drop ink with a plus sign, and what we do is you hold on your mouse and drag to the specific area that we want. In this case, we want to eliminate this yellow, and once you release your mouse, the yellow disappears, and what we see is the green at the background to be revealed in this particular donut hole. And what we can do, remember, is that if you want to regain the yellow, all we do is drag this all the way to the specific end, and we see the yellow reappear. If you want the yellow to completely disappear, all we do is we drag all this here, and we see that the yellow completely disappears. And so that is something to keep in mind in terms of manipulating this particular section of our color to be hidden area. And that is how this is actually done in terms of how your Chroma Key is implemented on Movie Studio 18. Other honorable mentions here is, in terms of something like this, what we can do is, for this particular section, which is the green, all we just do is drag this down, and what we can do is select a specific area. In this case, we're going to eliminate this green, and what we do is go to color, and we select that area by clicking on OK, and once you drag and release, we have this to appear right over there. Now, to highlight the yellow or bring it back for this particular image, what we can do is click on this, go back to your specific color range, and we can readjust this back to bringing back the yellow. And what we see is that your yellow slowly begins after you bring in your anti-spill to it. And so this is how we're able to go from where we started to this particular section. So I hope you found this really informative in terms of Chroma Key. The mix one, I don't really use this at all, and I only use stamp and color. But if you have ideas on how mix is used, please go down to the comment section and let me hear your thought about this. All the same, I really appreciate this. Thanks for following me through this. See you on the next video. Stay smart as always, and believe in yourselves.